So I wanted to share with you a bit of perspective um, on what a normal human is, or your usual human. Right? Not all of us are able in the same ways, and not all of us are lucky enough to have had a life in which we can have had education. Some of us don't know what to do in life and really don't have a manual, and we have limited capacities, and that's all that we know. So realize like just how much someone can be going through when you're having an interaction with them. That one person who sort of panics too much when you get a customer complaint, that sort of person where like they act like everything is falling apart when something is slightly amiss. Like realize that for them everything is falling apart, and it has been falling apart for a long time. Imagine being in a world with no education, right? You having no education, and it's just as intense as you right now watching YouTube. It's just as intense, just as nonsense, but you don't have that solid basis of knowing that, okay, well, I could probably read a couple of these books on how to get rich and get there, or I could, if I follow this and this and this method, or if I, imagine you had none of this. Imagine you had none of this, and the entirety of your life you've just been being beaten up, assaulted, like being thrown around by the problems of like that rent, that so on, that so forth. Imagine the desperation you might feel when it's almost the end of the month and you truly have no ability. I want you to realize that that's definitely someone, and I want to give you the interpretation that will make you able to understand and tolerate them better. I'm not saying that I am perfectly tolerant when I meet a panicky person, when I meet a person who, really believes that it's the end of the world in some scenario. But I'll tell you what, the thing that makes me calmer is understanding. So I wanted to explain what life is to a mortal, right? Like a proper mortal. And this is likely not you if you're watching this video, because I imagine you've got enough internet and enough knowledge to understand that you should be, even the knowledge to understand that you should be consuming knowledge. Some people do not have this data. They think you live life day to day. It's a desperate life. So understand that that's the humanity that we live with. But also understand that it is your responsibility to make it better. So you need to teach people.